Hey guys, what's up? I am super excited to let you know that tonight's featured guest is Fantom of the Beat, formerly Haas G from the UMCs, and we are going to listen to two of his tracks. Going to start off with Blue Cheese and move on to Ghostface Killah's Apollo Kids because Fantom actually produced that. So let's get to it.
UMC, giving blows of three forces of nature. Earth, wind, and fire, let's negate the good, cause I'm bad with the skill to create. Right. Quite slick, various tricks and the know-how of a master like flow pow.
Pick up, that's just a comic book, especially when I pick up and start to teach my first lesson.
Arithmetic, reading, and writing.
Not too exciting. I pick up what teachings orchestrate at my kingdom, based upon the elements and lyrics I bring them, stone by stone.
But did you build it alone?
No Kim was prone to seek out alone. From the kid who did sell the party well.
Do tell.
Oh well, I done sold on.
Wait up, hold
now
on.
Watch him flow on, so on, so on. Watch me grow on. I keep on growing till I start to sneeze.
With sparks, allergies,
it's blue cheese.
The procreator, I'm the one who saved the year of 1991. Made it kinda obvious for the entire world to find the fun, or better yet, we
kinda clever.
Get the level set, check, all hands on deck. For the source of my skill is all real. Passion to eliminate the weak who are marked with the seal of blue cheese.
The coolin', I'm a slave for no man. Stand like Lopan, slam like Rodan. Who can?
You can.
Damn, I'm grandin'. Step off the runway, I'm preparing for landing. 3-point drop, turn, stop, and freeze. Spin 360 degrees for blue cheese.
Alright guys, that was Blue Cheese. Up next is Apollo Kids.
Motherfucker, yeah, I see that. All y'all fake motherfuckers up in the joint, huh? Stealing my light, huh? Watch me do it, watch me. Yo, check these up top murderers. Snowy in the bezel is the cloud murders. FBI trying one word with this kid who pooped out, bust a shot up in the beacon. Catch me in the corner not speaking. Crushed out heavenly, you G-Rock the sweet daddy long fuck mates. Chicken and broccoli while he looks stinky with his man straight from Raleigh Dorm. He recognized Kojak. I slapped the 5 master killer, cracked his tiny form. Everybody break bread, huddle around, guzzle that. I'm about to throw hair in your bag. Since the face been revealed, game got real. Radio been gassing niggas, my imposters. Scream the ill, I'm the inventor. 86 rhyming at the center debut. 93 LP, told you to enter. Punk faggot niggas stealing my light. Crawl up in the bed with grandma beneath the lazy board where you hid your knife. Ghost is back, stretch Cadillacs, fruit cocktails, hit the shells that punch pastry rag. Walk with me like dark, they try to judge these plus degrees. Suzacal, Rastafy, getting waxed all through the drive-thru. Take the stand, throw my handle on the Bible, and tell lies too. I'm the ultimate. Splash the Wolverine, Major Shaw ring, Dolomit. Student and no hole in it. Hey yo, this rap is like ZD. Face of me, real TV. Crescent high speed, strawberry kiwi. Kiwi. As we approach your hood, the guards bill. Just that now the ferry boat cash bill. Fresh Sally's 50 deep up in the city. We banned for life. Apollo kids live to spit the real. Snatching my son, $20 off, no tax, dream merchant. Tucked in the clouds, stay splurging, rockin' eagle head. 6-inch height was the bird Monday night. Dallas versus Jets, do slid in with one hand. Two coaches, ciphers, one bag of wet. Heavy rain, fuck my kicks up. Wasn't looking splash in the puddle. Bitch laughing, first thought was beat the bitch up. Moseyed off gracefully, New York's most wanted Chiba Hawk. See me yellow brick roll, left over pastries. Saint Ghostface, holy in the mind. Last seen Manhattan Chase, we drew the 6-8 digit in the briefcase. Rawness, title is hellbound. Quick to reload around, faces surround, look us down. Yo, we spit a fair one. Poker nose money, gin rummy with glare. Spot the lame bit his ear. Yo, it takes a teaspoon. 300 goons, stash balloons. Locked in lab rooms, hit with the Glock. Spazzed in Grand Store, glocked him like a patient. His stocks for hustle invasion. Knowing how we got the block off. The chain tricolor, freezing in below. Icicle galore. Gas station light gleaming on the wall. Got wise, got jams, James Bond Vans. Niggas flip jams, rock boats underwater, watch clams. Pose for the standoff, mad timid, hoping that the gun fall. Guessing like lottery balls, yo. Hey, yo, this rappers like ZD, facing me real TV. Crashing high speed, strawberry kiwi. As we approach your hood, the guards bill. Just that now the ferry boat cash bill. Fresh Sally's 50 deep up in the city. We banned for life. Apollo kids live to spit the real.
Alright guys, so we just listened to a couple different tracks by Fantom of the Beat, formerly known as Haas G from the UMCs. And first we listened to Blue Cheese, which he did with Cool Kim. And then we listened to Apollo Kids, which he produced for Ghostface Killah. Stay tuned because his dope ass interview is up next. I am super excited to let you know that we have a 2-time Grammy nominated producer on the show today. It is Fantom of the Beat, formerly known as Haas G. How you doing?
I'm all right. What's going on, Crystal?
Not much, man. Just excited to have you here.
Well, that's much. That's much.
Yeah. So how did this all get started? When did you start making music?
Oh, man. Well, we just celebrated as a group, the UMC's 30 years in the music game.
I know.
So now let's take it 30 years back. You know, it even started before that, you know, on Staten Island. And, you know, being in junior high school, there was a lot of, you know, artistic, I want to say, uprising at that point in time. And Staten Island was one of those places that were very untapped. And we were like, you know, new to the game, but we grew up in it. You know, it started from the breakdancing days, the graffiti days. And music was always, you know, part of that whole culture that we call hip hop.
Right.
So, you know, back in the, you know, mid 80s or whatever, that's when I met up with my partner on Staten Island. I had moved from Brooklyn to Staten Island. So, you know, we got together out there, you know, long story short, and we formed the group called UMCs, which it allowed us to do the things that we wanted to do as far as being rappers and you know, musicians and traveling and, you know, doing shows and seeing the world abroad. So that's basically where we started at. And from there, you know, we were blessed to have come out with, you know, 2 dope albums on Wild Pitch Records, EMI back then. And that's the start of our, you know, credits and our claim to fame.
Right on. So you have worked with some serious heavy hitters in hip hop, like Busta Rhymes. You've worked
Yeah,
with a bunch of the dudes from Wu Tang.
yeah.
How do you prepare? Like, how do you get ready to make beats for artists that are so different?
Wow, that's different. Um, I can't say that they were very much different from me. Remember, we come from UMCs. I come from UMCs. So at that time, we were touring with a lot of those artists that I've produced for.
Yeah,
And that's one of the points that a lot of, up and coming producers probably don't get. You could go out there and hustle all day long, but sometimes it's just who you know or the relationships that you built. So, me being on tour with a lot of these different artists, by the time I made the transition from rapper to producer, it was easy for me to have access. You see what I'm saying?
that's
So
awesome.
it wasn't nothing for me to reach out to them and just in a different light. Like, they knew I was a producer already, but they was willing to take that chance on me producing specific projects for them. Ghostface is another one. We grew up in the same building. So while
Wow.
UMCs, we were before Wu-Tang. So UMCs were the first ones from Staten Island, that really opened up the gates for
Right.
rappers to come through. And Wu just came and sealed it. They caught mad wreck because they got to witness the ones that came before them, and they learned from the mistakes that we had made being
Definitely.
out
Yeah.
first. So they caught that knowledge and they knew way more of what to do and what not to do. But that being said, that's how I started dealing with Wu-Tang members, because we all knew each other.
Yeah.
So this wasn't, just an overnight thing. This was built on, a good foundation, some relationships.
Right.
And
And I'm sure they were just as psyched to be working with you, of course.
yeah.
Like, I mean, what I meant was with the artists being so different from each other, like Busta being so different from like Ghostface, like
Oh,
how do you like get ready for that? Like, how do you like where do these beats just come from? You know what I mean?
it's music is, first of all, music itself is a universal thing. All
Hmm.
right. Everybody loves music. There's different genres of music. Um, Me personally, I got a feeling for the artist. That's really what I do. Even today, whatever artist I produce for, I like to really get to know them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Probably be in their environment, see how they flow, see how they act, see how they move, see how they, correspond with their environment. And I get a good feeling for them. So that's basically how I differentiate one beat from another, or one artist from the
Yeah.
other. I like the pattern make stuff for the particular artist. But what I'm just trying to say is I get into their world. And
Right.
once I'm
And
in
you're
their world, yeah, it's easy. It's not rocket science. It's still applying the same craft, but with a twist, something that's going to appeal to them.
right. You just have to be super perceptive,
Mhm.
and
Very
obviously you
perceptive.
have to be because you have to be able to pick up on their voice,
Mhm.
but you
It-
do it
it's
really
it's
well.
right. It's not some producers, they come out, they're one dimensional. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
their sound every time you hear it. That's so and so, that's so and so. I love the fact, and I applaud myself as well as give thanks to all those who applaud me for the fact that I am versatile. You
Hmm.
know, um, Even up to today, I started delving in on a whole new genre of music, which I haven't touched before, really, really on my own. But right now I'm touching R&B. So
Nice.
that's a whole different lane from being a hip hopper,
Right.
B-boy, rough, rugged, raw street producer. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just a whole different area.
That's awesome that you're branching
Thank
out and trying new stuff, and I
Yeah,
can't
you
wait to hear
can't
that
stay
stuff.
stagnant. You can't stay still. You always got to be inventive or reinventing or delving into new areas. And I think that's really what keeps a producer relevant,
I was
because
just
of
going
the
to say that.
ability. Yeah, you have to stay relevant.
Right. And,
So
the new guys, these new kids, they can learn something from the dudes like you that have been around and stay relevant, because it's not
mhm,
easy to stay relevant. A lot of people didn't, you know?
that's true
So
talk.
that
And
has to be
I'm still
applauded.
learning. I'm still learning from the ones that came before me.
Right.
You take Quincy Jones, for example.
Hmm.
He producing with Grays, and he's probably not even doing much of anything but just giving directions and relaxing and sitting in the chair. But the vast amount of knowledge that he holds, you know what I'm saying, from where he came from, and all his accomplishments, you can't beat that. And
Right.
and like I said, I'm still learning to this day when I'm hanging out with guys like that, and just picking their brains. So yeah, that's how you stay relevant in this game. I mean, as far as being a producer,
Right.
I can't see myself being a rapper too much. You know what I mean? Unless they're doing some throwback shows. But like they said, this is the younger man's sport. So I guess I'm here to benefit and help aid, the coming of the new, the new regime, the new teams.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the new teams, I think that, today's hip hop there's some good stuff, but it's lacking like the heart that hip hop used to have, you know?
Mhm.
What do you think like can be done about that? Like, what do you think can breathe life back into hip hop?
Personally, everything is destined for evolution,
Hmm.
evolving. Um, the way this particular genre has evolved, like you said, has been is there's no substance to it. There's no meat to it.
Right.
I got a crazy boy flying all over my head right now, but don't worry
That's all right.
about
My dog is snoring in the background, guys. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear
it.
that. So,
It's evolved in not the best of directions.
right.
Um, and personally, me, I stay true to it because
Yeah.
I'm one of the pioneers of it. So, there's certain music that's out right now I really don't jive with, because when hip hop came out, hip hop was a method or a tool rather for learning. It was the speech
It
and
meant
the
something.
yeah, it had content,
Hmm.
that was meaningful. And you see it all day long nowadays. I mean, there's only three things that everybody's talking about in their music. If it
Right.
ain't drugs, if it ain't sex, money. There you go. Sex, money, drugs. You
Right.
know what I mean? And that's not how hip hop started, you know? And not to downplay everybody that's doing what they do right now, but nah, there's still a lane for that original, substance hip hop that is started with. It's there still. It's just we're so not in tune with diving in, looking for it, searching for it, because we're so fascinated with the social media, uh whatever is being put out on the biggest platforms. That's
Yeah.
what we're taking as what hip hop is, and that isn't it. That's the glitz, the glamour that nearly majority of everybody involved don't even get to partake in it. The way they portray it. You understand
Right.
what I'm saying? So a lot of that is just smoke and mirrors. um but I think there is a resurgence of some good hip hop coming around right now. And every day, everything has its time, so I know you heard the statement, what goes around comes back around again. you
Definitely.
know
Yeah.
and I think that is happening because a lot of people are getting really, really fed up and dissatisfied with what they're hearing.
Hmm.
This isn't music that I could play for a 4 or 5 year old right now. I don't want them talking about I'm popping a Molly or I'm taking a
Yeah.
perk, or like, and that there's your hooks right there. So those hooks are being embedded in our children's heads and all of that. So, that's
Hmm.
not what we're here to do. We got to be more positive and more aware of what we're saying and doing, because, nowadays these kids are followers,
Yeah.
and we're leading them to, what I mean, a damned, down the damn path. That's not cool.
Yeah.
So I think there is a resurgence coming, and to the best of my ability, I'm gonna be part of that.
Right
I
on.
know I'm definitely gonna be a part of that, because it's time for some, some real good wholesome music. It can still be, hardcore, or love song, or whatever you want to make it, but your content is what is really going to count, and is what's going to speak for itself out here.
Right. Yeah, definitely. That's why I started doing this, because I want to reignite people's love of hip hop, and I feel like the
Right.
best way to do that is to get back to the roots,
Get
get back,
involved. Yeah.
get back to the icons that got all this started, because they know what it's about,
Yeah.
and show people what it's about, because the whole new generation needs to be exposed to like
Oh man.
what
Tell
hip hop
everybody.
used to be, you know?
For lack of better words, you chose the right one for me.
Yeah.
And in all reality, we are the ones who are ordained. We're very ordained to really lead it right now.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? We're the ones who are supposed to take hold of the torch and really become the leaders of this again, and
Yeah.
guide, guide the generation. There's been a gap between the generations, and things got lost.
Hmm.
Really, it got lost. So, the average 18, 19-year-old, they're not paying attention to what the 40-year-old veteran, has to say, really, because they're already in a world that was given to them by, whoever the powers that be that were at the record labels or are at the record labels right nowadays. They spun them a whole different wheel. They told them something that, just made them go buck wild and crazy.
Right.
And it's like, yo, what is going on? Now they don't even believe in record labels, because, we're in a whole different realm right now. We got social media all over the place. So everybody
Hmm.
wants to put out records without any type of, guidance, or any type of, real, truthful, positive exercising for the craft to get it right. So they're
Right.
just throwing out any and everything, and I think your dog agrees. They're throwing
I'm
out.
sorry. He's snoring like a motherfucker right now. My bad.
It's it's so accessible right now, or easily done right now. The content it's just crazy. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Right. Because you can just
So
put it out like that,
anything you can put out anything, and I mean, like, come on, there's no control right now. So we do got to regain control of this. But like I
Yeah.
said before, it's happening slowly but surely, and it always happens. If you studied the game, the whole music game, I want to say 10 to 15 years, it's something that, don't worry about it. He's good.
Can you hear it?
Yeah, he's chilling.
Sorry,
It's all good.
everybody. This is
I
not the
think
first time this has happened, man. Sorry.
I think he's moving on my frequency. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, every 10, 15 years, there's a resurgence, something fresh, something new that really sparks again,
Yeah.
And it without fail, it always happens. So I'm sure we're going to see another Biggie. We're going to see another Big Daddy Kane. We're going to see another, Ludacris, another Busta Rhymes, get ready to come. We're going to see all of that happen again. It's going to take its time, and, we got to be patient, but diligent,
Well, who do you think like right now is like kind of starting to fill those shoes? Like what kind of modern rap are you into? Like who do you like?
right now, since I'm a producer and I'm working on a lot of projects that are real personal to me, I really, really shy away from what's going on over the airwaves. You know, I still
Yeah.
stay tuned, but like Chance the Rapper, J. Cole, I tend to veer towards, you know, their lanes because they got things to say. You know, every once in a while, you know, I'll go over to ASAP Rocky, you know,
Yeah.
only because of the, you know, the excitement, you know what I'm saying, behind
Right.
the music. Um, right now, who do I listen to? Conway, the Machine.
Yeah.
I'm really messing with them a lot right now. You know what I mean? And their whole team, their whole camp is ridiculous. Yeah, I tend to stay grounded. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not with a lot of the stuff that play on mainstream because it's always the same 5 records a day anyway.
It's
You know,
just the same thing. And
yeah,
they all sound the same and they all look the
everything
same. And
cookie cutter. Yes,
yeah.
duplicate.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think, who was it? Oh, it was Eve. She was saying it. She says, I don't even listen to it because everybody is what's the word? A clone.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean? It's just
sad.
a bunch of clones. Like, I mean, personally, I can't even keep up with the rappers' names nowadays.
Right. I'm gonna be honest, I'm the same exact way. I have
It's too
my
many
little
little this, little that. Yo, all right.
right. It's just one face tattoo after another,
You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah,
basically,
we
but
used to be, it was a lot more diversity. You know, no two
yeah,
artists were sounding the same. If you did sound the same, you was considered a biter. That was
right.
one of the terms that we had.
Yeah.
Like you biting. It wasn't good to bite.
No,
And
I mean, it's a little sad. It's kind of sad, but you're right. It's gonna come back around.
it
And I
does.
hold out hope. I love hip hop and I hold
Yep.
out hope. You know what I mean? I'm holding on to it.
I
So
definitely still will. No problem.
yeah.
No problem.
So I'm curious about I actually asked Cole Kim this question too.
Mhm.
What are the chances of you guys maybe getting together and doing a little something something?
Well, it's not like we haven't been experimenting, you know, over the last couple of years. You know, we
Yeah.
actually dropped the record about 2 years ago. And it really, you know, it set a good presence for us. You know, at least people see that we were working together and we had something on the market. It was called Flashback. It
Right.
is called Flashback.
Yeah.
And so that I want to say is, you know, the beginning of us really, really thinking about working together again. You know, I have no problem with it. We journeyed, you know, outward into our own, you know, facets. And, you know, Kool Kim, known as NY Oil,
Yeah.
and, you know, myself, how she turned to Phantom of the Beat. You know, sometimes we just got to experience, you know, you got to experience what you want for the time, you
Yeah.
know, even if it's just for a little bit. But the legacy of UMCs is not over. You know, we're going to continue to do what we can when it's time to. You know, COVID messed up a whole lot.
Right.
You know, so there was a lot of downtime. But hopefully that the world is getting better and we still got health and we're, you know, still, you know, functioning and still loving this music. I can't see it not happening, you know, sometime in the near future.
That makes me super happy. So it makes me really excited to hear, and it's so amazing that the two of you went your separate ways and both did so well,
Mhm.
and that you can still come back together and
Definitely.
do it
He's a
all
friend to
again.
the end. He's
That's awesome.
you gotta imagine that's who I did it with first.
Right.
So that's a staple. That's a big thing in life for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Always.
that's pretty rad. So I'll be looking forward to that definitely. So is there anything else that you want to add? Any shows or anything like that, shout outs, whatever?
Yeah, definitely. So as far as now, I'm producing. The next level from being a producer, which I'm on that path, is, being an executive.
Hmm.
I do have a label imprint called Fantom Music under Who Mag, Orchard Sony. Um, I've just dropped a few records on a few artists. One which is recently out, Catherine Swain. That's the R&B piece I was talking about. So I'm
Nice.
going to finish up her album and get her album ready. Before her, there's an artist called Snooze from Long Island, Snooze Daily. Dropped a single for him off my label. Rhyme Wrecker, another from Staten Island, did a record for him off my label. Just dropping a couple of singles. So Fantom Music is like that next level of hip hop that you would be looking for.
The
It
natural
holds true.
evolution.
Yeah, it holds true to the grassroots, but it also pertains to what's going on now. And it's not in a corny way. It's really up to date music. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's been my thing for the last couple of years, just improving on the record label, looking for artists that I feel that I'm ready to work with, cultivate, and expand on,
Yeah.
So that's what that is. You can definitely find me at Fantom of the Beat on Instagram, and you'll catch up with a lot of the updates and what's going on in my life. And that would be spelled FANTOM _OF _THE _BEAT. That's Fantom of the Beat. And also, a lot of people been looking for me. For example, yourself, and you found me. So that was diligently done. Some research. You go Google, you'll find Haas G, you'll find UMCs, you'll find Fantom. On Facebook is FOTB _Fantom. And keep in mind, Fantom is with an F, FANTOM. And other than that, like I said, you just Google, and we pop up.
Of course.
We staples in the game. We pop up.
That's for sure. You can't be missed. So, all right, man. I am thrilled that you gave me the opportunity to talk to you. I have been a fan for much longer than I would like to admit because I don't want to date myself.
I hear you.
But it's been a long time I've been listening to you guys. So,
thank you. I appreciate you so much. Like I said, it's just people like you who take the time out. The platform right here is beautiful. Like, you get ready to bring me to your audience now.
Yeah.
Some of them are probably fans of ours as well, but you're the one who took the steps to do it. And that deserves great, you know what I mean, consideration and applause. I'm appreciative. Thank you. Thank you.
The great thing is that for the last 2 years, I've been working with indie hip hop artists that like no one's ever heard of, So
Right.
I have the audience that I have that checks out Never Nair and Crystallized Beats. They're not like regular hip hop, like the new, like modern, like they're into like the underground, they're into like the lyrics, they're into hip hop, they love hip hop.
Right.
So when I switched over, when I reconceptualized, everybody's psyched. So this is definitely good, and I'm really psyched, and thank you so much for being on the show.
Well, your approach makes it easy, so continue doing that, because as I seen, you're getting interviews with some people that some of the biggest PRs can't even catch up to.
That's because I'm just that cool. So like I got MC Light on Never Nair.
Say less. There you go.
So yeah,
that shows you how much appreciation we got for you.
Yeah, it's pretty rad, man. And I talk to Kool Keith all the time now. Like, I've been listening to Kool Keith since I was 10 years old. And I reached out to him for an interview, and we're like cool now. So
Nice.
it's nice. I'm like building relationships and stuff.
Yep.
So
But like I said, it only takes a person like you.
all
to do
right,
it.
thank you for that. That's awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
all right, man. Thanks so much for being on the show. And this is going to be up tomorrow, so I'll send you the link. And you have a good night.
And don't be a stranger.
All right, I won't.
You made 1 or 2 friends. I'm here. You know what I mean?
Excellent.
We got all of this to keep up with each other. So there's no, you know what I mean? We ain't got no worries.
All right, cool. Have a good
All
night.
right. Crystal, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Paying attention.
Guys, so that was Fantom of the Beat, formerly known as Haas G of UMC's. And I hope that you enjoyed that interview just as much as I did. Let's keep hip hop alive and let's just keep doing this, guys. Take it easy.
Watch this.
Hey guys, what's up? Wanted to take a minute to introduce you to Venus A Go-Go. It's an astrology themed clothing store with all super dope, unique designs. And you can find it at venusagogo.com or on Etsy at Venus A Go-Go Shop. Check it out. Hey guys, are you looking for more episodes of Crystal on the Beat? We're available on all streaming platforms. Make sure you follow us, and if you like the show, give us a good review. Thanks. Alright guys, thanks so much for listening to Crystal on the Beat. If you're interested in being featured on this podcast, then email me at crystalonthebeat@gmail.com.